I'm about to talk about the support services that might assist your students, and the majors that they select have a lot to do with the type of support that they might receive here at Westchester. So once again, I'm Jocelyn, and I work closely with Mrs. Caitlin Kraus-Machinsky, who is the Assistant Director of the LARC here at Westchester. Our location is in the Lawrence Center. So this picture is a little misleading because, come on in, we lost our parking last year. There is construction underway for a new Science and Commons engineering building right now, but the Lawrence Center is where the LARC is housed, right there on the second floor in the middle section. When you walk into the LARC, students have a chance to sign up for tutoring. They can find their tutor, and it's a sectioned off cubicle space so that students can go in and receive the help and still have some privacy in that area. So if you're wondering where we are, we're in Lawrence. So on the first floor, there happens to be our dining hall, so if you are in that area, you can feel free to peruse the second floor. That's where we are, or let your student know that they can go upstairs to receive academic support services. This is our mission. This is what guides my work. This is what guides what we do. One, we want to make sure that what we're offering, the services that we're offering, is of high quality. That's one. And then two, I'm hoping that as students utilize the support services at the LARC, that they're actually walking out better learners. It's one thing to actually receive the support from a tutor or a success coach and to remain dependent on that person. I'm hoping to nurture a bit of independence so that if a student is walking in and getting the help, they're able to become a little more self-sufficient, especially as they move into their sophomore, junior, senior years here. And then we not only want them to be successful academically, but we're hoping that personally they can achieve success, especially through our success coaching. So these are the main points of our mission, and that's what guides what I do. So here's a list of the programs that we have. I think it's a nice looking buffet for a student in need of support. And I will talk about these individually in just a moment. But we have generalized tutoring in most gen ed courses here. Also, there's supplemental instruction, and this is tutoring which really focuses on some of those high-risk areas, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. We have online tutoring, which is really cool because this is available 24/7 for students, especially if they need additional support. There are also academic success workshops available that students can attend, success coaching, which is one-on-one support with a graduate level student. We have an early alert program that I'll explain. And then the LARC does not operate within a silo, but we partner with certain entities on campus, for example, the academic success program, and we make sure that tutoring is available for a number of different student groups on campus. So again, I'll talk about these things, and I realize I'm very sensitive to the fact that you are receiving a lot of information today. So there's no need to try to write or remember everything that I'm saying. All of this is available on our website under the LARC, okay, if you need to reference it a little bit later. So I did mention general tutoring. The LARC is most known for tutoring because that is where most of our time and resources go. These are just some quick facts on our tutoring. One, we hire about 100 student tutors a semester and then register about 1,800 students per semester as well. That's great. I think the number can even be higher because students, that lets me know that students are coming in for support, but we can even get a larger number of students really seeking the support. We offer sessions weekly, so that means when a student signs up for tutoring, we have a unique model here at Westchester. The in-person tutoring is held on site, but a student is committing to see that tutor on a weekly basis. And within that tutoring session, there's a possibility that 2 to 3 other students from the same class and the same section might be assigned at that time as well. So we have a couple of things going on. One, the student is seeing a tutor weekly to talk about some concepts, okay? So we have that regular help going on, and then they're in a session with a very small group of students experiencing the same type of instruction, and a lot of times great relationship building is happening within that core group. A study group can be birthed out of that tutoring session. So this is a unique model. Not all colleges and universities have a weekly commitment type of tutoring model, but we feel that it has worked, and the studies and statistics prove that it has. We also have drop-in tutoring though, because some students may not want to commit to a weekly tutoring model. So we have drop-in tutoring available for some of our popular courses like biology, chemistry, math, physics, and also some of our economics and accounting courses. So that means we have tutors available in a space that's advertised to students, and a student can just drop in, maybe get some homework help, and then leave. Maybe they can come back the next day or maybe the next week. So this is a great model for any students who need that flexibility throughout the semester. Our tutors, who are they? Well, they are students at Westchester who have done pretty well. They've gotten a 3.0 GPA or higher and also earned at least an A or A- in their tutoring course. So we're highly selective in who we get to tutor your students, basically. And then we not only just hire them and say go tutor, we actually train them. And we train them according to the College Reading and Learning Association, CRLA for short, which offers 3 levels of certification. And we mandate that all of our incoming tutors are certified at that level 1 certification. And they can go above that if they so choose, but we feel that that's really important for them to gain those skills in that training. And then tutoring is assigned on a first come, first served basis. So I always say it's great for students to come in earlier than later. And as much as I say that, we still get students coming in much later, even up into the last 2 weeks of the semester, we have registration available. But a little sidebar in a commercial. Let's say that your student comes and does very well in their first semester and they need a job here, they can become a tutor. Tutoring, I think, is a win-win for all students. It's a way that they can exercise the knowledge that they've gained in a class. Maybe they've achieved that A or A-, have the 3.0 GPA, and they want to give back to the community while also getting some pocket change for it. So this is a way for them to get that experience and leadership experience. They can go online. We have online applications that they can fill out, and they can apply as soon as the end of the fall semester is completed and grades are in. Another few facts about the general tutoring. We do offer the in-person weekly tutoring in mostly 100 and 200 level courses because we're really hitting the population of that first and second year student, still really navigating the first years at Westchester. But then our registration starts on Thursday, August 29th. We make sure, especially at our part 2 of orientation, once students are on campus, we make sure we are advertising this information for them. It's important that they come in and sign up as early as possible. We do have in-person registration at the LARC. On Thursday, that's when we open it up for students. We get them in and out and registered. We have this system because it works for us to be able to place them into separate tutoring sessions with other students. And they can register though, even if they don't come in the 29th, they can register at any time in the semester. And like I said, registration goes up into the last final weeks of the semester. But of course, it's better if they come in earlier because they're guaranteed a time that would work best for their schedule. So this is an important date to keep in mind, and we're advertising this information for your students in August as well. All right, so I get a little excited about this service we have. It's called Supplemental Instruction, or SI for short. And I like to think of it as beefed up tutoring. Nationwide, supplemental instruction has been a great support in a lot of universities and colleges. This is not a new model or new tutoring model. This is something that has been adopted at a lot of other schools. And the model really targets any courses on the campus for which students are receiving high numbers of a D grade, F grade, or perhaps there's a high withdrawal grade. And nationwide, biology and chemistry fall into that bracket of courses where students are really not performing as well as they could be. So we have decided to offer supplemental instruction in our biology and chemistry courses noted there. What's different about SI than general tutoring? Well, this is the key piece. The tutor attends every class with the student throughout the entire semester. So the tutor is sitting in that lecture, getting the same information, taking the same notes, and then what the tutor does is meet with those students an hour each week to review those strategies, to review the knowledge. And what better way for the student to get the help in from someone who's experiencing all of that information and knowledge. Registration for supplemental instruction is the day prior to our general tutor registration on Wednesday, August 28th. We make sure professors are advertising this. We make sure that our SI tutors are also in the class because they will be in that first class. Remember, they're taking these classes. They're the ones advertising, saying, get to tutoring, get there. So we want to make sure that the students are well informed about this, and again, they are coming into the LARC to sign up for this. So that's supplemental instruction. And by the way, I should have said, if you have any questions as I go, please feel free to ask. Yep, okay, sure.
So when you say to sign up for tutoring, how do you know what you're going to need tutoring in? Are you just signing up for general tutoring?
Okay, well, the student would have to come and specify the courses for which they need tutoring.
But that's August 29th, the classes don't start until, how are they going to know what they need tutoring for?
Well, they have their course schedule. They have their course schedule. And by then, that week classes will be starting.
Okay.
Yes. So they will have their class schedule, and then we're signing them up. Now, some students feel that they need help in certain classes and not in others, so they're not mandated to sign up for all, but it's what they choose. Yeah, great question. Yes?
This type of tutoring,
Yes.
does the tutor sit like next to him and say, write this down, write this down? Is that what you
Not quite. So imagine this is the classroom and the gentleman in the back is our tutor. He's just listening to the instruction going on. He's not nudging anyone. He's just listening as we go. But then outside, he's running a 50-minute tutoring session where you can ask him all the questions that you might have, and then he's also facilitating the tutoring session based on what you should know. So that's the experience of the student in those classes. Yes?
Is the supplemental instruction only biology and chemistry?
Yes, we do target only these courses. It has a lot to do, again, with that high DFW rate in those courses, and a little bit about our budget as well, because this would get expensive if we focus on all classes, but primarily because of the DFW rate. Any other questions so far? All right, stop me if you need to. Okay, so I talked about general tutoring, the SI. What about the student who says, getting to the LARC is hard, I'm either playing a sport and my schedule is crazy, maybe I'm a commuter, maybe I'm working and have to be back home for a certain time. Smart thinking is available for any student. This is a brief list of all of the courses or disciplines covered by Smart Thinking. The online tutoring platform is available for students to register, and they can register through the LARC. And like I said, our website, we do have an email address where students can reach out to, and this is also available on our website. We have students registering to utilize this, and basically it's a platform where they can have a live chat session with a tutor who is a professional tutor. This is a graduate level tutor trained in these disciplines. Now, like I said, this discipline is a short list, but if you go on the website, you're curious about learning more about this, it really goes in depth into each of these to offer a long list of topics covered in each of these disciplines. Now, here's the kicker, and I don't know how they do this, but it's available 24/7. That means students can get the help anytime, which is amazing. And like I said, it's ideal for the students that fall into these categories, a commuter, sometimes there's scheduling conflicts, and then a lot of times students come in for the weekly in-person session, but they just want some refreshers for the rest of the week. And this is ideal for that person. So that's smart thinking. So we have the general tutoring, smart thinking, we have SI. How much do you think these services cost? Yes, well, you've already paid for them. Okay. There's no additional fee for any of the services that I'm talking about today. We often get that question even from students. You can remind them, please use it. And it's like you've paid for the buffet, you might as well get a sample of everything. So I've talked a lot about tutoring, which focuses on the content if you're having trouble learning material in your class. But what if you're having trouble in things like time management? Maybe you didn't have to read a textbook in high school, and believe me, that happens. Maybe that student is used to just memorizing bold-faced terms and then getting an A on the class. I was that student, and let me tell you, it doesn't work. Okay, so we get a lot of students who may not need tutoring help per se, but they need help around academic success. And that's why we have success coaching available here as well. Success coaching is a different model. It's not the student signing up for a weekly session, but we have graduate level tutors. These are, success coaches. These are grad level success coaches who have completed their bachelor's degree. They've been down the road that your students are about to embark upon, and they're able to meet one-on-one with your students. Sometimes students like to go and meet maybe with a friend and with a success coach. And the meetings can happen weekly, they can happen every other week or as needed. So it's a free-flowing system, but the idea is that they're getting help in some of these areas. Sometimes it's a time management issue. That success coach can sit down and say, hey, break out your calendar. What kind of test do you have coming up? Let's see when you can study. Let's see what you have written down. Maybe it's around test preparation, study skills, things like note-taking. I mean, I wish I had someone to teach me some of these skills, and I would have been very successful in that first semester. So that's what we're attempting to do for your students when they come aboard. And a lot of times, students just need someone to talk to. And they're going through something, and this is helpful for them. Question?
Are these services only available to freshmen?
They are available to all students, yes. However, we do target and really market to first-year students primarily, but this is open to all undergraduate students here in Westchester. All right, any other questions on this? All right, and again, they can come to the LARC to register for this at any time in the semester. So this is a great way for them to consult with someone. An extension, an extension of those success coaches is our academic success workshop. So this is yet just another way for students to get a little bit of help in a certain area within the confines of a workshop. So we have hour-long workshops that are repeated throughout the semester in various topics like the time management, test preparation, study skills, and we're marketing these to first-year students. And if they feel, maybe I need some help with that, let me sign up for this workshop and get the help that I need. So we have this available for not only first-year students, but all students, and they can register online for the workshops that we have. And finally, I thought it would be important to introduce the Early Alert program, which is not necessarily generated by a student, but this is the effort from the LARC office to reach out to professors of primarily first-year students to ask, is anyone struggling in your course? And by struggling, we mean maybe getting a C- or below. So we ask that question around the 4th or 5th week of the semester, because hopefully they've had at least 1 or 2 tests or quizzes by then. And then the professor is sending us names of the students who might be struggling. So they refer the student, then we match that student with one of our graduate success coaches who's able to sit down, have a conversation and say, hey, what's going on? We got this early alert, talk to me. And from whatever the student shares, that graduate success coach makes the appropriate referral. We have a long list of the types of issues that we hear. Some of them are financial aid related, some of them are personally related. Maybe there was something, a family situation. Maybe there's just a roommate issue that's affecting academics. You never know what's going on, which is why we feel it's necessary for that student to sit across from a graduate student who is able to diagnose that issue and then make the referral. And a lot of times the early alert really results in the student seeing the graduate student more regularly throughout the semester. So that this is yet another tool where we're trying to identify any struggling students. And the goal at the bottom is to promote academic success. So before I get to the questions, like I said, this is me. Mrs. Caitlin Kraus-Machinsky is our assistant director, and then we have the glue holding us all together, Ms. Bernadette Forte, our clerical staff support services person. And I do want to say this, though, in terms of utilizing LARC services. I always like to say to students, it's like a gym membership. You pay for the membership, but you're only successful if you actually utilize and put in the work to create results. The LARC operates in the same way. We advertise to students. We make sure that they know that we're here. But unfortunately, a lot of them don't take advantage of these services. So I think it's important as you're going home, maybe today, to just make sure that they really know that it's important to be as proactive as possible and going after their own academic success. But if they take steps toward us, we will definitely make sure that we're doing everything possible to make sure that they're successful. So with that, I will close and ask if there are any questions. Yes?
Sorry for Mrs.
That's okay.
After some last session on the web, the students get sort of this information from you guys too about all these things?
Absolutely. Yes.
Like orientation, or not today, but the next orientation?
Yeah, we call it the part 2 orientation, but in the summer, when they're coming before classes begin, we're making sure that we are having a similar presentation, but also providing information and materials. They'll hear this not only from our office, but some of the other leaders within the new student programs as well. And also, like I said, in classes, we're advertising in classes so that when students get here, they're reminded. Yep, question?
Okay, now it's similar to that, but you see, like today, I'm sorry because my accent is really strong. So
That's all right. I got you.
I know the today was orientation, and we get to choose some of the classes because we can't go to all of them.
Right.
So will they have all of these in different days, or?
Good question. You're right, because if you weren't here, then you would have missed out on this information. I hear where you're going. So normally at part 2 orientation, we have information sessions or sort of like a fair where students can go around to tables, get the information that they like. Again, we do have breakout sessions sort of like this, and we try to repeat this information. We don't meet everyone personally, so if we don't meet them there, we hope to meet them at the tables, but if not, then we're hoping to get them in the classroom. And that's where, because all students will be taking our first year experience course called FYE. All first year students are taking that, so we're making sure we're advertising there, and especially in some of our high risk courses, we have SI tutors there as well. So we're trying to catch them, we're trying to get them there. But again, it's important that they seek us out as well if they have any problems. Any other questions? Yes?
My daughter struggles a little bit more with writing.
Okay.
Do you have tutors for like the writing and English courses?
Yes, we do. There is a separate writing center on campus, and the writing center is located in the library. And these are students available to help in any stage of the writing process, whether it's brainstorming, editing, proofreading, so they can go over that information with students. they have a webpage available on wcupa.edu. So it's important for students to just
So
get
they're
that
a
information.
separate entity.
Yes, they are, yeah.
Okay, great.
Mhm. Any other questions? All right. Well, listen, I won't hold you. I will stay after, just in case you have any individuals who'd like to ask some personal questions of me. I thank you for your time, and again, welcome to Westchester University. All right, take care.
Thank you.